For my shoebox sculpture, I am mimicking the artist Duane Hanson, and he is best known for his freestanding, super realistic life-size sculptures of people. And he did this by making molds of their bodies, usually doing a part at a time, like the arms or the legs, and then putting them together. And then he painted them to make them look realistic and added accessories and clothes to put them in an environment and make them look even more realistic. So I guess for his subjects, he typically chose ordinary people like tourists or janitors, things like that. He seemed to have a real desire to show people who are often overlooked. Oftentimes his work has confused people because it looks very real, and the fact that he adds the accessories just makes them blend right in, and people have sometimes even bumped into them and said excuse me, thinking they're real people, which is pretty cool. The material that Duane Hanson used to make his cast of people was fiberglass reinforced polyester resin, and I chose to use make a rubber mold and then use foam to make my sculpture. And so I got a baby doll and made a sculpture out of that, and then painted it and put some clothes on it to make it look as realistic as possible. For my miniature sculpture, I'm mimicking Duane Hanson, who did real life-size sculptures of human beings. So I have a doll here, and I'm at my dad's shop, and we're gonna make a mold of it and then put some clothes and accessories with it to make it look real.
Do you have any idea what this is for or what this is about?
How do you feel about this?
I want you to...
I'm coating the baby with wax so that the rubber does not stick to it when we make a mold. Our box is just about ready. Looks kind of like a coffin for the baby. And then this goes on top. Then we pour the rubber in.
We need a split box.
We need a split box because we can only do half of the baby at a time. Have it suspended. The baby is now fastened to a piece of wood with some body filler under it so that the rubber does not move the legs. The doll is suspended and we're ready to pour. Stop. Takes 12 hours to harden, so I'm gonna have to come back another day and pour the other half. It is 5:30 in the morning on Monday, and I came to work with my dad because we're gonna finish up the baby doll. So I don't know how to get in this door. But that's where the doll is. There's the baby. Gotta get it out. Sticky.
Ew. It didn't sit there. Oh.
That's okay. Not all of the rubber is set because there was no hardener in part of it. So I'm heating it right now to set it, and we'll just have to cover it up with socks. On the baby's feet. The rest of the mold went. Ooh.
So there we have
Mold of a baby. Front side. Hey, I'm heating up the mold again so that when we paint it, the paint sticks. And then when we put the foam in, the foam won't stick to the mold, it will stick to the paint. So we have two halves, and we're going to paint them and then shoot the foam into the mold.
foam coming out that we're going to pour into the mold. Woo!
We want roughly to fill this about 2/3 of the way.
Now we let it sit for 10 minutes and then the foam will expand and we'll have our mold.
So we got some air trapped right here in the legs.
Experiencing some difficulty. There we go. Baby face. This feels off. Baby number 2. A little hole in her head.
I'm in the next stage of the baby making process. Okay, which is painting the sculpture to make it look realistic. So this is the color I came up with, which looks really orange on this video, but I promise it's not that orange. And we're trying to match this color. Right now I am working on the eyes. Baby is painted. And so we're just doing some details on the eyes.
Is it feasible to teach all of that deeply and so well to relate to everybody?
Yeah.
Are you getting enough conversation on this?
Uh-huh.
And I passed my Spanish praxis, so I can teach Spanish too now.
Sweet.
Which one's fake and which one's real? Okay, you guessed it. This one's fake. Actually, she's not very shiny. Maybe I should shine her up. And the real one. Look at those eyes. I'm impressed with myself. And the creepy clown baby that I'm not painting. Here we have the finished product. This is the mini baby sculpture. Painted and with clothes. Because Duane Hanson would paint his figures, the molds, and then put accessories and clothes on the figures to make them look realistic. And my final piece has to be able to stand, so solve that by putting sneakers on the doll since the feet were slanted. Had some difficulties along the way with the rubber mold not setting in parts, and also some holes with the foam where it didn't expand. But I'm sure Duane Hanson experienced difficulties with his work, and I'm happy with the final product. Just work around the problems as they come.